Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone? Or maybe you've second-guessed your own memory and sanity after a conversation. If so, you might have encountered the subtle, shadowy world of dark psychology. It's not about mind control from movies. It's a real and damaging force that can quietly dismantle a person's life, piece by piece. Today, we were pulling back the curtain on the hidden costs of manipulation and how these destructive tactics can leave lasting scars. First, let's define what we mean by dark psychology. This isn't just about simple persuasion or influence. We're talking about a set of tactics designed to exploit human vulnerabilities for personal gain, often with a complete disregard for the other person's well-being. Think of gaslighting, love bombing, silent treatment, and constant criticism disguised as helpful advice. These are the tools of the trade. They're used to control, dominate, and emotionally cripple others. One of the most devastating costs of manipulation is the erosion of self-esteem and identity. Imagine you're in a relationship, whether it's romantic, professional, or even with a family member, and you're constantly told that your ideas are silly, your feelings are an overreaction, or your accomplishments are no big deal. Over time, these little cuts add up. You start to internalize these messages. You begin to believe that you're not smart enough, not good enough, and that your own judgment can't be trusted. The manipulator essentially rewrites your inner monologue, replacing your self-belief with their own critical, controlling voice. This is how someone who was once confident and vibrant can become anxious, hesitant, and unsure of who they even are anymore. Another major hidden cost is the deep sense of isolation it creates. Manipulators are experts at cutting off their target's support systems. They might subtly criticize your friends, saying things like, "Are you sure they really have your best interests at heart?" They might create drama or demand so much of your time that you have no energy left for anyone else. This isn't accidental, it's a strategy. By isolating you, they make you more dependent on them. When they are your only source of validation and social contact, their control over you becomes almost absolute. This isolation is incredibly painful and can lead to severe loneliness and depression, making it even harder to see the situation for what it is and to reach out for help. Then there's the mental and emotional exhaustion. Living under the constant stress of manipulation is like being in a state of high alert 24/7. You're always trying to anticipate the other person's mood, trying to avoid saying or doing the wrong thing, and constantly analyzing their words for hidden meanings. This is a psychological minefield. The mental gymnastics required just to get through the day are draining. This chronic stress, this hypervigilance, takes a physical toll. It can lead to anxiety disorders, panic attacks, insomnia, and even physical health problems like chronic fatigue, headaches, and digestive issues. Your mind and body are screaming that something is wrong, but the manipulation makes you believe the problem is you, not the situation. Let's talk about gaslighting, a cornerstone of dark psychology. Gaslighting is when someone deliberately makes you doubt your own perceptions of reality. They'll deny saying things you clearly remember them saying. They'll tell you that you're reimagining things, or that you read too sensitive. A classic example is moving your keys and then telling you that you're just being forgetful when you queue and find them. It sounds small, but when this happens repeatedly, it's profoundly disorienting. You start to lose faith in your own mind. This is perhaps the cruelest tactic, as it attacks the very foundation of your sanity. The goal is to make you feel so unstable that you have no choice but to rely on the manipulator's version of reality. The financial cost is another area people often overlook. Manipulators can be incredibly skilled at exploiting people financially. This can range from constantly borrowing money they never intend to repay, to pressuring you into making bad investments, or even controlling all the household finances to create dependency. They might use guilt, saying things like, "If you really loved me, you'd help me out," or create a false sense of urgency and panic. Before you know it, your savings can be drained, and you could be in significant debt, further trapping you in the toxic dynamic because you feel you can't afford to leave. So, how does one break free from this cycle? The first and most crucial step is recognition. Understanding these tactics is like being given a map of the minefield. When you can name what's happening, this is gaslighting, this is love bombing, this is isolation, it loses some of its power. You start to see that the problem isn't your own inadequacy, it's the other person's behavior. This is a huge shift in perspective. It's the moment you stop blaming yourself and start seeing the truth. Once you recognize the manipulation, The next step is to begin rebuilding your support system. Reach out to trusted friends or family members you may have lost contact with. Be honest about what you've been going through. Re-establishing these connections is vital. These are the people who knew you before the manipulation began. They can reflect your true self back to you and remind you of your strengths and worth. Their outside perspective can confirm that what you're experiencing is not normal and not okay. Setting boundaries is absolutely essential for recovery. This is often the hardest part, especially when you're dealing with someone who has consistently ignored your boundaries. Start small. It could be as simple as saying no to a small request or ending a conversation when it becomes circular and confusing. Say, I'm not going to discuss this anymore, and walk away. Each time you enforce a boundary, you reclaim a piece of your power. Expect pushback. The manipulator will likely test these new boundaries, but staying firm is key to breaking the cycle of control. It's also important to remember that healing from psychological manipulation is a process. It takes time to rebuild your self-esteem and learn to trust your own judgment again. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Journaling can be a powerful tool to reconnect with your own thoughts and feelings. Writing things down can help you clarify your reality and track patterns of manipulative behavior. And please, if you feel overwhelmed and trapped, seeking professional help can be like a therapist who specializes in emotional abuse and trauma can provide you with the tools and support needed to navigate this difficult journey. They can help you understand the dynamics of manipulation, develop coping strategies, and heal from the emotional wounds. Remember, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. The hidden costs of dark psychology are immense. It robs people of their confidence, their joy, their relationships, and their sense of self. But knowledge is power. By shedding light on these dark tactics, we can learn to spot them, protect ourselves, and support others who may be trapped. You deserve to live a life free from control and fear, one where your thoughts are your own and your reality is undisputed. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content on understanding human psychology and building healthier relationships. And if you or someone you know is struggling, remember that help is available. Take care of yourselves.